J. Jonah Damn Son. We once again have another bloody and excruciating show on our hands, and J. Jonah Damn Son is at the heart of it. So much to break down, including my Will's not here after this. Alright, guys, Brad here back from Geek Variants. We cover all things Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, video games, and more. This time, Invincible Season 2, Episode 4. It's been a while, and it's been a while since Will's had a day off for Invincible, so here I am, filling in, covering in the great superhero show that Robert Kirkman has blessed us with. And just so everyone's aware, I haven't read the comics. I need to get caught up on the comics. With how impeccable that this show is with each and every episode, it makes me want to watch it just that much more. And I mean, the voice actors that they're pulling for this show are the best of the best. They literally pulled my childhood, shoved it in front of my face in a comic book video format, and made it graphic and dark in a way that very few shows are able to pull off. But once again, Amazon. When all things come for good writing, just go to Amazon, except, maybe avoid Rings of Power a little bit. But that being said, look, this episode was absolutely fantastic in each of every facets. I know Will breaks down things very, very in depth, kind of shot for shot for shot, and you kind of get the point. Breaks down each meticulous scene. Omni-Man has continued to be omnipresent, if you ever will, and including and increasing his spawn wherever he goes. He just sees a woman and does the thing. Yeah, he had sex with a bug. Don't really, don't really know how to cut around that one, and then somehow it made a purple person. So I guess that's how that works out when you put humans with bugs. Let's not test it for many obvious and many horrific theories, but my God, just this sheer act of it, once again, the Invincible universe. They'll think of it, things will be done, just how it works. And now, we have Invincible, who has the worst superhero name ever because every single episode we've ever seen him in, he just proceeds to get his butt handed to him on an absolute silver platter, unless he's absolutely being ruthless and true to his Viltrumite heritage. But every time he hesitates and rides with his humanity, he just gets his butt kicked because everyone in this universe is stupid strong, and it's super exciting for each and every episode to have things like this happen. The Viltrumites are literally if the Kryptonians were evil, and instead of the ones being attacked and wiped out, they're the ones going out and conquering planet by planet by planet. And Omni-Man was one of the best of them, but clearly not the most efficient. Having turned towards his humanity, he forgot to finish killing the guy who had a giant rock shoved through his entire torso, and the dude literally just held up his innards like he was putting it in a little man purse bag. And like it was absolutely fine, carried on, had a nice day, and then proceeded to break Omni Man's back, his spine, his will, and now all of a sudden we are left with this terrible, dauntless task. The whole planet's been razed. Invincible is not invincible, as his guts are completely out and open. He needs to find a spacecraft. He needs to head back to Earth. And then he needs to figure out how in the world he's either going to A, prepare Earth for this terrible oncoming attack that no one will be able to stop or repel, because let's face it, the people of Earth are actually fairly strong in this universe, which is nice. However, the people of Viltrum and all the Viltrumites themselves are god-level threats that no one is prepared for. They had one Viltrumite and an entire city was leveled, and they didn't really do that much damage against him. Fraction of their power kind of goes hand in hand. And now he has to, hey, will you guys help repel them? Or are we just going to have to give up and realize that, hey, Down is down. I can't win this fight, so to speak. The facts are the facts. I'm not strong enough. I was barely able to take out an old Viltrumite woman, and even still, I didn't have the killer instinct in me needed and necessary for survival. I understand self defense. I understand not wanting to take human life, but if your human life is being threatened by another human, at a certain point, you kind of turn off your humanity and choose survival, don't you? That was what someone who'd be invincible would go ahead and do. But I guess not. Back on Earth, Adam Eve struggling with typical teenager problems. Her parents aren't accepting her for her. She kind of really needs someone who she can vent to about superhero problems, but he is out in space having his butt handed to him by other Viltrumites and, having his dad turned into a handicap. Now, on top of that, we have her flaunting her powers, everything she had ongoing, and nearly killed people because she was having a teenager-ish moment where she is just venting, trying to be human, and caused some elderly people to be nearly killed. And now she's having terrible, terrible flashbacks of being like, oh my gosh, why did I do this? Why did I think about this? And again, poor Donald. He's like, oh, I'm willing to die for the cause. I did it. Like, can you imagine watching yourself die on camera? Like, is that what happens in purgatory? You just watch the moment that ended your life over and over and over and over again? Just curious, genuinely curious. But at the same token, now he realized after trying to murder himself just to be sure how he would bleed, that he is indeed part cyborg and that he has been reinforced, remade, and everything that has been ongoing with him and the organization is once again a lie. But this is what happens when you run into high tech people. There be liars in high places, and they are ones who call all the shots. This is exactly like what happened when we had Batman in charge of the Justice League. He came up with ways to defeat everybody and everything. The leader of the organization, well, he's a couple spaces ahead of each and every single person in this universe. The only person he couldn't plan and accordingly win over was Omni-Man, and that's because he was a god level threat. And now there's going to be an army of god level threats heading towards Earth. Who knows what will happen next? All I know, you probably won't see me next week. Will be back in the saddle to cover Invincible, and if you're subscribed, you'll see me covering everything else that we have here: Marvel, DC, Lord of the Rings, anime, video games, and more. Because we at Geek Variants have tons of stuff for you. Hope you guys had a great Turkey Day. Happy Thanksgiving. See you in the next one.